Hi folks, in this video I'm just showing you the deliverable for this assignment. Basically you're going to be building this interface here, which is basically a SQL Alchemy practice site where you can create a database, add students to a database, add nicknames to the students in the database, update the student, then be able to select an individual student, select multiple students, and delete students. And then after you've done this sort of basic bunch of assignments, then you can add courses to the database, enroll students in those courses, and then show their enrollments in these two sections. But you first do this section. Now, to begin with, I actually provide you with an already populated SQLite database, and this is the database right here. And there's 4 tables in this database: a courses table, a student table, a student nicknames table, and then a student courses table, which provides the many-to-many relationship between the student and the courses table. So if we just sort of browse the data in these tables, we have a student table with Joe and Mary in it, and then a student nicknames table with the nicknames of Joe and Mary in that table, then a courses table with 2 courses in it, and then a student courses table with just this. This is the many-to-many. This provides the many relationships between the courses table and the students table. So while I provide this already pre-populated, you actually have to create it from scratch in your Flask application. So the first application you'll be doing, or method that should be running on the database, is dropping the entire database. So if we drop it, you get a little message here, database dropped, but then if you go in here, you can see that all the tables have now disappeared. If you create it, you get a little message, which you also need to put in here, but then you can see that all the tables have been created. Now if we add students, Joe and Mary have added them to the database. So if we go to the student table, we can see Joe and Mary. We can add nicknames to the students, or add a nickname to Joe, because if by default, when you add the students, the nicknames, Maria already has a nickname when you add it here, but when you add Joe's nicknames, and then 2 nicknames added to the table, you can see that they've now been added too. You can update Joe so his name changes to Joseph. And then you can, and these are the 3 queries that you need to run, select queries, 2 queries that you need to run. So if I do this select, we can see that it is selecting the record with the email Joe, and then it pops up with Joe's name, his email, and then his nicknames. Then you can also select all the students by clicking that, and then you get Mary's as well. If we were to delete, you need to add this delete method where you delete the Joe record. If we delete that, and then we select students again, the only thing that shows up is Mary. So that's basically what you have to do in the beginning with the student table and the student nicknames table. Once you get all of that working, all of these methods, and making them not only show up appropriately in the database, but then show appropriately here on this screen, then you can then also add courses to the database. Here we're adding courses, you're enrolling students in the database. Then we can show the course enrollments, and this is key. You need to show these particular messages. So if we show the course enrollments for Anthro and English, Joe and Mary will show up as enrolled in Anthro, and Joe will show up enrolled in English. And then conversely, if we show student enrollments, we're just showing a student enrollment for Joe. We show that his enrollments are Anthro and English. And that's basically what you need to do in this assignment.